You're here at SleepWalker Radio, and I'm here with 1Alkebulan.
Peace. What's up?
How are you doing today?
I'm okay. You know, today I woke up and I was okay. And I think I'm just going to be okay today, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's just how I'm feeling.
Yeah, no, we're chilling right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're in Brooklyn, and yeah, it's a relatively nice day.
Mm-hmm.
When I came over, I saw some kids like throwing snow. There's like a little pile of snow somehow that was there.
There was a rain snowstorm 2 days ago.
Word.
Rain
Okay.
was at the same time. Yeah, I like ducked into like my favorite little Indian restaurant, just curled up with some fish mughlai. It was just so magical. But I was watching a lot of people get mollywopped by the weather in the process. It was like a live show in a cynical way.
Yeah, when I was walking here, there's like a little pile of leftover snow, I guess, and there's these kids that are just throwing it at cars driving by. It was funny as shit.
Better that than rocks, you
yeah,
know?
no,
like...
for sure. And like the people took it well. They threw it at these truck drivers, and I could see the drivers just like laughing when they got hit.
Yeah, because
like, okay,
it's
nice,
not threatening, you know,
it's
like
just some snow.
throwing a stone at an adult. It's terrible. And you know, like, what can you do back to that kid but call the police? And who wants to call the police on a child?
Right.
You know, that's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole nother thing. So you know they'll actually come and fucking arrest the kid, which is insane.
Exactly. So it's just like, you really gotta pick your battles. They picked right with snow. Yeah. And that's fire.
For sure.
But yeah, today's gonna be a good day. I got a show tonight.
Yeah.
At SourMouse in Delancey, Essex. And I'm performing songs from my new project, Sun Rza. That album is dedicated to my grandmother, my matriarchal lineage, the Ethiopians. It's a lot of Ethiopian music. On the last track, As News, I reverse all the songs. It's kind of like an antidote for the project. 20-something minute song, but it some of the songs actually come back in ways that make palatable sense to the Western ear, if that makes sense. So it kind of just starts to sound like positive, major almost sound, like very triumphant. Whereas like the regular version is a lot more subtle and sultry and me going to a very like macabre part of my heart. Yeah.
I think you added that track kind of a little bit later after you put out the rest of the stuff. So I was listening through it, and then I saw like I heard it again and just like reversed. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah,
I really like because it starts with the last song, and after you hear the last song, you just hear that jump backwards, and it makes the last song so good.
Yeah.
Because you like, oh my god. This is my favorite album that I've ever fucking made. Like, tens across the board.
Yeah, no, I really fuck with it. And like, the more I listen to it, the more I like kind of appreciate it and catch like different things, which is like good.
It's my comedy tape. It's my Rudy Ray Moore Comedy tape, but you really gotta be smart to hear the jokes.
Gotcha.
It's like Always Sunny, you know what I'm saying? It's just like some people's ears are made for it, and the ones that aren't, I got songs for them, you know, and that was the goal. I was trying to cater to, because I got different fan bases. One is a very, you know, nerdy Adult Swim type of rugged, I would say child, but at this point we're like adults. We're in the thick of adulthood. That's crazy, oh my god. That was so sick. But nah, so like those kind of people, and I guess the youngins coming up under them, but there's also like this kind of mid-30s and even 40-year-old crowd that's starting to come around to my stuff. Yeah,
that's
and
tough.
It's because I do a lot of things with like intention around our community. Specifically, like I be in Bed-Stuy like a motherfucker. Like I interned for Moshood for like the fall, and it changed like a lot for me perspective-wise.
Really, how so?
So at Moshood's, for one, he's one of the most delightful people on the planet. He's like a fashion designer in his 70s, and he's like, yo, he be dripping like us, casually. Like I came into the store one day, like on a day off from like school, and it was just him in there, and he was trying to get me to buy like $300-$400 pairs of pants and all this sort of stuff. Just like everything you want, you know, you can have it. Just see me at the end, and I'm just like, girl, it's expensive. And you know, I knew that I wanted to be a part of whatever that was. I had a friend give me a Moshood shirt as a gift maybe a few years ago, and I saw the face and I recognized it, so I was like, damn, I need to like go to this. Like my body, like when I was walking to the store, it was literally like anchored in that direction.
I got
and,
you.
Yeah, like energetically pulled there. Anyway, so the environment is just so many bright colors, but also like the kind of pastels that work for our skin tones, like jades and periwinkles, and a thing for us is faces, masks, and shit like that. You know, like it's kind of where our ancestors get to sit in plain sight, because there's a lot of meaning behind the eyes of them. You always gotta look at the eyes of the masks. That's where it really is. And so at nighttime, what we do is a lot of the elders in the community will come over, just like, you know, Moshood's friends from the past like 40 or 30 or so years. And they have like wine and like, you know, they order carry out, eating like fried chicken and rice and stuff. But the stories these men tell of like leaving their countries, coming to America, and freaking even creating industry for themselves, or even their takes on things. Like, not all of them are the most politically correct, of course, but it's really important to be there for your elders and hear them out as much as you can for, you know, as much baggage you're carrying with your trauma, because, you know, you can take the conscious decision of being there and looking at it every day and physically wearing and being it, or you can know that it exists and kind of just let that happen and staying present. But like really like being here is like so essential. Like that's been like the biggest change in the past few years for me. Like I had to really let go of a lot of hurt, a lot of deep hurt. And it wasn't like a snap decision. It's just like the more I immersed myself into the things that I really cared about, like music and, you know, fashion and hair and makeup and all these sort of different things, I was so preoccupied in what I liked to do, I wasn't even focusing on who I was or what had happened. But yeah, back to the Moshood thing, just the perspectives. And hearing things that I didn't believe in to the fullest extent, in entirety, just hearing the entire story as to why a person believes that way, gave me a lot of compassion. Yeah, because like I'm not out here just like everybody gotta think like me. It's more so just like I have to be able to feel comfortable around you, regardless, because we're humans, you know. And I put a lot of that into this project, so I was able to cater for different places while being honest still, because I was really just being immersed into my experience. Just not looking at motherfuckers. I like don't be on Twitter like that no more. Like
it's a good thing.
It's a vibe, and I'm not even trying to be like one of those like stay off of social media, you'll be a better person. But a recharge is good, and our opinions don't matter in the face of so many things. Like the world is nuts. Your opinion right now, like there's forest fires, like a lot of shit going off. You know, like
Chernobyl train crash in Ohio.
Yo, exactly. And you're over here talking about cancel culture? Like, nigga, that don't matter. That's embarrassing. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, caring for elders has been a huge part of this last 3 months.
So you were doing it for the last 3 months, the internship?
It was like September to, I'd say, September to December. Like 4 months-ish. After my grandmother passed, like, that happened in January. So around that time, like, I just, you know, I needed a second to really go into myself. I love this Miles Davis song. That's so great. So this is Nefertititi by Miles Davis. This was the bones of Cyber Griot, the second song on the project. So I chopped this up really small with a performance by Boom, which is like a percussion group that Max Roach put together with like 5 other dudes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so a lot of those like swirling drum riffs, they're Max Roach, but I had it going to this initially. Like there's a secret laser track that is just like Nefertiti chopped up a million ways, and then, you know, 25 steps down, 11 steps up, just, you know, reverberating, going really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, that was really cool.
This popped on.
Cool. Yeah. But yeah, so 3-4 months-ish, and I have also been, I'm immunocompromised, and I didn't realize that so seriously until the pandemic, honestly, like, because, you know, like, I used to hit gas, like, I used to blow them down, but I got asthma, and, like, it kind of got a little bit, like, more serious after, I'd say, like, the second time I had COVID.
Damn.
Yeah,
Damn.
I mean, I wear masks, I'm vaccinated, I believe in all that, but there was a wave, like, last year, 2021, the year before last, I guess, in like December, and like Biden kind of told us, "Hey, yo, everybody just finna catch it, just like, you know, buckle down for a little bit, cause you finna have that shit." Yeah. And I tried my best. I got it, and like that instance, it really like it fucked me up so much. Like I was out for a month, and throughout like my schooling, I've had to go hospitalized, take time off for like different just shit with my body. Yeah, like my arthritis and stuff was acting weird. So I had a lot of time in between school, I guess, to like spend on music, and it was really intentionally placed because I was able to get a lot of those hard feelings out, because I was kind of just pushing and pushing and pushing. Yeah. Even throughout the pandemic, like a lot of people had that time to sit down and think, kind of. We were online. We weren't really sitting down. Like, some motherfuckers were, you know, doing the thing, but I wasn't all the time. Yeah. So this time around, I really took the time to quit smoking. I honestly ate worse, not even really healthier, but somehow it felt right. Yeah, and it made the music sound good. It's something about being on like a D'Angelo diet while recording. It just like it makes the song sound good. There's certain riffs you wouldn't hit if you didn't have like fried fish that day. And you know, I'm from DC, like I'm a fried fish ass bitch. Like, bro, that horse and Dickies, bro. But yeah, it's something about fried fish that really made this joint like hit vocally. I also changed my voice a little bit up. It's softer now. Because I think it is because like the sicknesses and stuff. Like I couldn't force it too hard. Also, New York as a recording environment, like I was living in a project before, so I can kind of get any sound I wanted to out of my voice, but I gotta be really strategic to not get sound complaints or have. I don't want to. You don't want to be that one singer person in like a building. That's annoying as fuck. So I tried making it a little softer and sultrier, and I never thought I'd do that. I always thought that I'd be like this big Broadway voice, but it just didn't. It didn't come around this time, and I like it. I like this new voice so much better for whatever reason. It feels natural, like, All right, well, to get back to the music and Sun Rza specifically, when did you start, like, recording it, or, like, start making the project? I started making it, I would say, in 2021. Yeah. Okay, yeah. The Meditation for Nelson was like the first song on it.
Wherever you are, stop. Take a breath.
I was recording that for like some project that fell apart. One of the various Ed, Edd and Eddy schemes that I throw once a year. Yeah, but I kept it because the words he was saying, they didn't really hit me until much later. Gotcha. And yeah, he's older than me, so it's just like he has a lot more perspective on certain things, and I think it's cool that he was able to provide such a calm place for the next song, you know, like that little interlude moment. No, it's cool. The initial song we were gonna do was gonna be like, his part, an interlude, and then like a 3-minute song. So it was like almost 6 minutes of music that I just cut into 2. Yeah. Yeah, I kept like the little Justin Timberlake. And I can see past my weakness. Was it hard to place? But that was pretty much it. Like the whole of the song, it's crazy. It's called Tarika. It's like I'm gonna hang up my phone, I'm gonna throw Tarika on, and that could mean two different things, like a Tarika Blue album, or like Tarika, like your immediate, you know, surrounding, like your community you have in your home, and burn your name up in my bowl. I just want to spend my time alone, because I just really needed like some me time, and I just wasn't getting it, because in the pandemic, like, I took on a very motherly vibe for whatever reason. I just wanted to be cooking everyone food and, you know, throwing kickbacks, just like drinking, recording, and that shit's cool, but it's just like, there were some nights that were just particularly draining, and a lot of opinion, a lot of just angst, and I needed like something to calm down to after a night of over socializing. But I didn't even know that it was a deeper thing. Like, the song is really about like my moment right now, kind of like weathering a journey.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
I was maybe making it when I found out my grandmother had cancer, if I'm not mistaken, which is pretty crazy because I ended up finishing the album when she passed.
Got you.
Yeah, I feel like it was kind of like my way of doing rights, or like a service for her without being so intimate and close with family. I don't know, like, I like being there for people. I like that sort of thing, but there's something about being around opinions that don't align on how you see the world during really hard moments.
Yeah, no.
Because your patience is either really short or you start believing like them. Like, I'd go back to the mindset of, like, you know, scared of the unknown and all these sorts of things, and that would undo so much work for me. And I'm trying to find nice ways to not be there, if that makes sense, because I just can't sometimes. Like, I've seen too much, and like, you can't unsee what you see.
No, for real.
Yeah, in a good and a bad way, you know, like, that's not even a bad thing, seeing too much sometimes. But yeah, so the way I view the beyond is different, and so I was able to care for the situation in a way that was more so therapeutic than remaining in the, oh my gosh, this is gone forever, this idea, this close person to me. It was just my way of grieving.
Yeah.
Pre-grieving. Very silently. There was a silent level of grief with me for a very long time. And I finally had that moment of clarity literally when it dropped. Like, I don't know what shifted in me, but niggas is just moving for what they need to move to.
Yeah,
you know?
no, that's great.
Yeah.
So, Guided Stillness was like the first track that you had put together for it, and did you? So it sounds like it took like a pretty long time to put the album together, like as a whole, right?
Oh,
when did you say
yeah.
you like finish it?
So for one, like, I lost Ableton, and that was like fucking, that was like losing a dog or some shit. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, I was Hoyt.
Yeah.
I was Hoyt Schermerhorn. It was crazy. My computer crashed. Like, you know, like when you're like, I had like a depressed moment, whatever. I was sad, and I just didn't want to touch my laptop, but it was plugged into the wall for 2 weeks straight, just cooking. And it's an old Mac 2. It was like a fucking like Pro from like 08, 07. Like,
Got you.
nah, I made that junk commit seppuku on accident, honestly. But yeah, like, I just started playing a bunch of fucking instruments. I was like, fuck it, I'm D'Angelo. Like, just play guitars, all that shit, piano, and it helped me build the ear that I needed. Oh my god, not XIB Womansworth, I'm keeping it on.
Hey.
It's a vibe.
Hey.
I was just playing instruments and saying fuck it, figuring out what chords sounded right, how I felt about them, because with samples, you don't have as many options, like, or you do, because now I can think like I'm playing an instrument, so I have options. But if you're just doing straight sampling with no perspective of a live instrument, like, inside of you, there's a disconnect. And so I was like kind of hopping on beats and thinking of not necessarily redundancies, but things that were, I'd say, more pragmatic with my vocal ability. I was just being very saving and showing a lot more strength to punch through horns and stuff. Like, I be battling my voice against horns sometimes, and it's just like, we both loud, and the song be sounding like we both loud. Like, it'd be like that. I don't know. So this time around, I got Ableton back when I started school. I like immediately, as soon as they gave me like the letter of, oh, this person is in school, I was like, oh, I'm getting that student discount, bitch. Literally with my student loan, like, bitch, that shit cost like 300 something, and I still got that joke. Oh, and it's 10, baby. It's great. Like, ain't no live 9, you know, like, it's not giving that no more. We elevated, so it's crazy working it because it's just so much easier. Like, I used to put myself through so much struggle with that shit, man. So the instrument ability helped a lot. Guitar. So Saint-Geniès, that song. I'm playing the main guitar on my friend Steve from Negro G, and I guess he has a band called Heathen Steven and the Sinners now. Amazing establishment, fantastic musicians. Literally, they shred guitar like Death Clock, like I'm letting you know, all niggas. Like, black folk, it's dope as fuck. And Cuz sings like an emo, like, really, he's like, it's hard to describe. Very, like, fun sounding, almost, like, bouncy with his voice, but it's, like, emo, you know,
okay, I know.
Yeah, but it'd be R&B, like, Stevie Wonder type ideas behind it. Like, no, Cuz is insane. He's one of the greatest musicians alive, like, bro. So he added the guitar on top, and, fucking crazy shit. Guitar was not even for that song. It was for Waaqashington D.C. That joint was gonna have like him soloing like a little like rhythm blues guitar on it, and I was like, this fits, but I hear something else. Yeah. And as soon as I added to the other song, it just like immediately just like something went off in my head. Like, this is the perfect thing, and I added that shit like literally 2 days before I dropped the project. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. No, that last few days of mixing, me and Ryan was working to the bone. Yo, it was literally like my headphones were busted, so all of the sound was turned up to like the highest level possible. Yo, and also, like, when you be making music high, you're doing an okay job with the ears you got in that moment. Yeah, but like the next day, that shit probably sound crazy because like you just wanted to hear all the bass up. Like, damn, I want the niggas in the streets to love this. You know, like, next day it's like, God, this sounds like I'm like grinding cobblestone against a chalkboard. Right. I changed the guitar and I added my homie little Mike White from Maryland, PG County. He is the founder of OSP, which is the first rap group that I was ever associated with. Quan is my OG. That's the one that put me on to like the whole DMV shit. Like, my sister of course did, because like she be with EU and them, and I was listening to EU in like middle school, but like like Quan really put me on like how to do what I want to do and like the aesthetic of it all, because he was super into like that art house Japanese like sword fighting movie shit. Okay. Like, he was really into that shit. Like, he had an album called like Daimyo. We used to like go like Sensei and Gakusei, like all that shit. Like, it was it was the clinic, honestly. So yeah, that environment really helped inform what happens now, and I wanted to reference that, and so having Mike do the ending, it was just very important. Like, I used to get high in his car in high school. I'd lie and say I'd be at a friend's house or something. For one, they're all like a lot older than me too, so like my dad just wasn't like, yeah, go out so you have a great time. So yeah, I'm with Yana or I'm with whoever. And yeah, I'd be listening to my demos in his car, and I felt like I was worth $1 million, because it was like some of the first times I heard my voice recorded. Like, ooh, I'm trying not to cry, man. I had some special times in that fucking car. I'm so glad he's still riding in it. Like, he got a little moon man, like an astronaut suit and shit on a dash. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a cool dude.
I was gonna ask who did the voice at the end, and who's the robot voice.
By the time that you were born, everything was already laid out for you. How to think, how to dream, what to eat, what to say, what you like, how to pray.
Erykah Badu. I didn't get her for it. I got it off of like no, I'm not that lit yet. One day, but I got it off of a meditation she did for NTS, and I was like, I got the bootleg off YouTube, and that shit was lit. Like, this shit had me reverberating off everything. Like, it was nuts. So I wanted to include like the most essential part to it, just like your tribe had it all laid out for you, like your actual tribe, not like whatever you're subscribing to. Yeah. And it was inadvertent. I didn't want to just scream that at Christians and Muslims and shit. It's not fun, but it's something I believe, you know. Right. I wanted to still be honest with my peers. I do think that like it's important for us to have different religions and feel comfortable comfortable in that, because like if you are happy with whatever you do, cool, you know. And to be honest, like my perspective is a lot more scientific these days. I'm a firm sciencey person, you know. I feel like there's stuff that happens in other dimensions. And like there, dark matter, there's, you know, some quantifiable evidence that it might be happening. Like, for sure. I think that's cool, and I do subscribe to some of those things, very selectively and very culturally, of course. But yeah, music, man.
We've gone through like a couple of the tracks already. We can just keep going. For the first one, Last Two Brain Cells.
Ooh.
What is the opening like voice message from?
The manager asked to see my driver's license. I gave him that. My birth certificate, no problem. Mother's maiden name, I had that too. You see, this had happened before.
That is from, I'd say, the first or second episode of In Living Color. It's a David Allen Greer skit where they think he has the wrong credit card because he's using American Express. Yeah. And they're trying to bag him in the store, and they're trying to distract him while the police is getting there and stuff. So just like, I had my credit card, my mother's maiden name. But it's also kind of like, I did it in a way to reference that Erykah Badu message, you know, like, I've been here before, I've been through this before, like, it's really just all that existential stuff, but I be getting it through in jokes, like, it's it's my Rudy Ray Moore album.
I feel like you use a lot of, like, voice samples throughout the entire project, and knowing the backstory to them makes it, like, even, like, better. And, like,
it's really fun. Like, I'm just glad I get to fucking talk about this. Like, it's so many inside jokes. Cyber Griot is probably my favorite song. Like, that was the one for, like, me and, like, I guess the more nerdy people like us. Because, you know, I still had the R&B thingies, but, like, that's just, like, straight up. Yeah, that's my big little Rugrat in D.C. energy.
Federation, a highly organized society for over 400 years. Oral tradition.
Between Sun Rza and Mr. Vegas, a rich one up with the coffee down in our thermos.
So many different tracks and like people. I heard some Azalea Banks, some Go-Go, some Baby Mothers, some Zach Fox.
Exactly.
It just keeps going. Like,
just like,
there's
you
so
know,
much shit going on.
My next music tag is gonna be Who Gonna Sue Me? Who gonna sue me? Somebody going to, I swear to God. I'm really trying to thin ice with this producer shit, Bryce. Honestly, I'm a threat.
So yeah, so the third one, Tesgist.
That's my mom's name.
Going through your estuaries to the open sea, to your glory, tapestry in the making.
That song come together.
That song, it's a collaboration with me and Illingsworth. He is a producer from Detroit, and I've been following his music for a long time, since I was at least like 18 or 19, because of like SoundCloud era. You know, I was pretty big on that, so it was like a little bit of a community. And him and Nelson, Pink Seafood, a few other people, just like, I don't know, I got put onto their stuff, but it was like an organic setting. And just like social media was like more chill to exchange over that versus just like, I don't know, the Spotify era is a little odd. A lot of people think they're fucking Madonna like immediately. And it's like, okay, that's cool, but like, we're also people. Like, I don't know, like.
Nah, for sure.
I kind of fuck with it though. Like, the audacity is kind of fire. Like, that's very like camp, like the delusion.
No,
like that $10,000 could do so much. You know, it can. You know, I'm not even gonna hate. I'm not gonna hate. It can.
It can.
But it's an interesting energy to hold at such a low rate of money coming in.
Right.
Yeah. No shade. Kind of shade at the other, but still.
And then the beat. It's like a reverse piano, right?
I believe so. Yeah, it's like a reverse piano situation. Yeah, me and Illingsworth, we were meaning to work on some stuff like for a few years, but just I didn't have the right setup, or it was really just me being me for a while, just procrastinating. Like I finally got to it, and it was just the perfect time, perfect moment. That song took a day to make. Just one solid day in bed, because like a lot of this was sick bed music, so I just really be like 7 pillows behind me, you know, I'm saying, delivery food next to me, you know, incense, edibles, just all the things that I need. Yeah, and I just be recording track for track. Like I had a good posture. Like the real thing is posture and breathing when it comes to singing. Like that whisper shit, like there's a way to do that shit with technique and have it still be really fire. That's why I don't really complain about like quiet singing, because like that shit's hard. No, some hard shit to do.
The next track, Waaqashington D.C.
Washington D.C. is like an energy. It's like it's like half Ethiopians, or just like Ethiopians that's super American that don't speak no Amharic, because I don't speak Amharic, you know, like we have a different culture, because we don't really have regular black culture. Like I would love that for me, and it'd be fire, but I'd be awkward, and it's not a bad thing. It's just like kind of how some of us are, you know. It's very disjointed. Like I belong here, I belong in the black community, of course, I'm African, but not every African American is open to that. You kind of have to prove that you're black, and then double prove it, and if you don't pass the second verification step, you're fucked, you know. It's fucked, but it's true, and that's like that's another reason why that Tyler album was a good one for me. Like it made me feel cozy. Like I didn't have to, like, I don't be putting on nigga airs at all. Like I'm just kind of like, I be flowing with how I be feeling, you know. And I be feeling very much both countries at a lot of the time, so I waver between things, you know. But just having another perspective on that, like from a person that's still very ingrained in the black community, you know, instead of just like a really alt black person, like nobody gets me, no one has to get you. Like I'm over that shit. That's been like so much of like the Tumblr era, like girl bye. Kind of bye, like literally kind get over yourself. Like no shade, but shade. No shade, but shade gotta be a song, honestly. So Waaqashington is an energy. It's literally just the importance of being here, but being caught up in the game of being here. I feel that very heavily. So that going cold bread, that whole breakdown is all about kind of the New York hustle. What I just seen, honestly, like very heavily in 2016, 17, like when I was very more around like the modelly kind of kids. Net 30 deals, net 60, net 90, they'll literally hold your money for 30, 60, or 90 days if it's like a larger sum of money. So some of these kids are just like, you know, not paying rent, waiting for that shit, you know what I'm saying? Living on scraps, waiting for that shit. Having to work 2-3 jobs while being a successful model. Like the person that we see in like literally all the campaigns, and it's just like,
God damn.
Yeah, it's not uncommon for our generation, and a lot of people are like coming out about it now, especially like some of the more like brown skin or deeper skin models. But yeah, I had to talk about it, because it was just something very quiet kept, because you just know when somebody like looked like they hadn't been eaten for a second, not necessarily like body thing, just on the scene, not necessarily models on that one, you know what I'm saying? When a motherfucker look a little frazzled, like they've been struggling, definitely check in. And also like with this year specifically, if you believe in any yearly forecast sort of things for my spiritual people, a very important thing is going to be banding together and cooking for one another, because the resources will get tight. You know, it's still climate change happening outside, and us pulling all these resources, like it's gonna come to a head, you know.
100%.
So that's really very much on that. So yeah, cooking for one another in those tight times, or just like trying to be that extra little level of cushion for another person where they got you, even if it's just like clothing share, like clothing swap, shit like that, instead of buying new shit, just different shit, like, because we can't keep putting all our bread to looking cute to try and one day get a thing in XYZ. Because that shit, it's a lottery. It's literally like you roll the dice, it happens, you roll the dice, it doesn't, or you know, one day, one of those things. But it's not for every fucking body, and we gotta be real realistic about what the fuck is coming. The weather's fucked up. This is like the first real snow in New York the entire winter, and it's March. Yeah.
It is crazy, man.
So we gotta be real. So Waaqashington is kind of just informing that energy. All the songs that I'm making are very more prevalent about, like, really the things in front of you, because presence is a really important process in the project. I didn't really have any love songs.
True, yeah.
I didn't really have any, like, I can do battle by myself, fuck these niggas, I got money. Which, like, I do have money, and fuck these niggas sometimes. But, like, and that's not even to shade people that do that. It's just, I don't. This one was really about being inside. Yeah, because I was inside. Like, niggas was sick. Like, you know, like, it's direct. I'd be talking about my direct, immediate experience when I'm making music. And that's to my detriment or to my favor, depending on certain things, you know. It's my therapy knowing that I have to do that. And so kind of just really getting that out, being, like, as there as possible in that recording session.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. I will also say, I think that track kind of shows off, like, your vocal range and just, like, growth, like, the most, and, like, how you're saying you sound, like, different and, like, softer. I fuck with that. I fuck with that song.
Yeah. I really appreciate that. It makes me happy. Like, there was some really cool moments in there where, like, I'm hitting a harmony and there's, like, a little vibrating buzz, like, and, like, that's only happened to me very few times singing with people. I remember it happened, like, once with my friend Yana, and I was, like, maybe 15, like, you know, practicing for some choir thing or whatever. I'm like, to be able to get that myself and not even hear it until, like, it's out, like, that's like, nah, I'm really in my bag, like, these hoes finna be sick. Oh my god.
And then the next track, Friday Foster, Miles Ave.
It's a lifestyle choice, not way wise, I'm away havers. Skate to the valley, never to the caddy. Kiss me on the cheek for good measure. I shot my goggles, tell you did a little shit Chris do when they cross their chest. Wish me luck. All my girls never left this mud. Pork and beans used to be my favorite snack. So you hope you see where I'm coming from. You got the Met Gala, my brother got a dog and it's coming
Eat on that is insane.
Yo, thank you. That's my favorite beat. Like, that shit, I don't even remember making it. Like, it ended up on my laptop, but I made that shit. Yeah, no, that fucking breakdown is so funny. It's like Jersey Club in Brazil with Sierra. The audacity of the bitch. Miles, he said his cousin, like, said from Purple Hurt, and you know, me and Purple Hurt is gang. So we was just in a U-Haul or something. Like, I was in the process of moving, so I think they had a show. Me and Miles was in the U-Haul just talking, listening to jazz radio. So we should just fucking work, you know? Yeah, they gotta make music. They gotta make music. Like, regular producer talk. I don't know. I be turning into a bro when I be working with artists. Like, literally, like, that whole, like, Dayman sequence from Always Sunny. Like, I lie to you not. I'm crusty. I was literally, when I recorded it, I was laying down in bed like Marvin Gaye. I had on my fucking my leopard bucket. I had, like, smudged lipstick just from school. I don't know. Oh, my mask or something. I looked wild. And it was his first time working with me, but I was just like, I'm not getting out of bed. I'm too high to do shit right now. Like, I'm gonna eat my food and just sleep. He recorded his shit. It was like, so I have the mic stand, because my setup is literally like a laptop, Scarlett, and a mic. And so you gotta have, like, a sock on a hoe, and you gotta, like, be at a certain distance to have it not pop. Because, like, my, specifically for me, like, being Ethiopian, the T's, the P's, the consonants, like, I pronounce them, like, sometimes even late, but really fucking strong. And so, like, I had to curve around a lot of that. And Miles, he was, like, trying to hold the mic and lay on the couch and jump around and do a whole bunch of shit while he was rapping. So it was one of the most arduous mixing processes of my life, because there would just sound from, like, a bag of something. This motherfucker elbow. And, like, I made it work. So it was this funny joke. He's rapping kind of fast, right? And that shit's fire. But in my head, I'm imagining, like, you know, the niggas at Six Flags for the roller coaster that we read this shit mad fast. No, like, literally a motherfucker at Six Flags America. Like, I got the dog in a couple months. So I put the radio effect on him, and I did it too. It was just like, hey, yo, this is the thing. Them bad, but, like, aesthetically, it was pleasing. It was easier on the mixing. The recording process was mad fun. We were eating, like, vegan Chinese food, just vibing, watching. I think There's this movie, The Mac. We were watching The Mac. I had never seen it before, and we did not finish it, so I guess I have to watch it. Because Friday Foster is a blaxploitation film. The storyline is hilarious. It's this, like, woman, I think she's a detective or something. She breaks down, like, the Nazis' attempt of killing all of the black leaders in one swoop, but manages to sleep with all of the black leaders in one swoop in the process. And it's just like, girl, I get it. You better work it, and you better work it to save all humankind. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was very Supreme Hoeing in that moment. And I was just like, I need to embody this and put it in a song immediately. As soon as I saw it, it was just like, put that shit in the song. Like, he kind of got the vibe from it. I'm not sure if you've seen the movie, but he might have looked it up. But it was very much that vibe, especially playing into, like, the deep leaning into the cultural presence in that, like, breakdown. Right now everybody's doing club, like Jersey Club, Baltimore Club, fucking Chicago shit, all that. So I wanted to do something like that, but something realistic to what, like, the fuck I be listening to regularly. And I listen to a lot of samba, so I wanted to, like, definitely work with it, you know, like, work with what was real to me. I like making club music. Honestly, growing up for, like, that year or two in Arundel County, that was, like, very informative, because, like, everything out there is pretty much Baltimore energy, because there's a lot of kids from Baltimore that go to the schools, just like their grandma's houses and stuff. I used to go skating in Crofton, skating rink out there, and it was right next to the fucking go-karting. It was, like, fucking maybe 15 minutes away, and that shit was fucking ill. Like, all that shit, and, like, little black kids having access to cool, rad shit like that as, like, kids. I felt like the most extreme Cartoon Network child. It was just perfect. Like, that and MTV Hits really had me in a stronghold. Oh, and honestly, like, I would say skating rink playlists, late night, you know what I'm saying, like, couple skate shit informed a lot of what I do right now. All that, like, You by Lloyd, like, Go a Pele, it was all that moody shit. A lot of Wayne's more, like, dramatic work. His pairings with Fred Astaire were quite phenomenal in the 2000s. But no, you know, like The Dancer, it was a old-timey joke. But yeah, I don't know, that shit, it really, I hear it in what I, like, do now. Especially when it comes to, like, shit like Waaqashington, Tesgist. I be trying to be Go Pele, because hearing Closer to My Dreams just while skating with all the mood lights on, like, man, oof. Like, I could pray as hard as I want to in this life, I'll never get that feeling back. Like, 4th grade, dancing, skating by yourself, just feeling closer to your dreams for a little moment and some lighting, bitch. Like, I was in my feelings. And, you know, I'm still big in the skate shit. You still got the fucking feathered hair, like, I'm still big on my roll bounce energy. That movie was like, yo, it's skating and then doing, like, watching roll bounce when you get home. You try to practice the shit. Like, that shit was nuts, bro. I love that shit. But yeah, so Friday Foster was definitely me leaning into the thing, because that's just been working for me.
For sure.
Yeah. It sucks because, you know, when you're an artist that likes interesting shit, you start to see it from, like, that Western lens that means, like, you have to do deep noise, deep house, really, like, conceptual. And you can still do that while black, you know, and it can still just kind of look like what the fuck you be doing. And I think that confuses a lot of people that listen to me. Because they see and feel that comfortable blackness and think that I'm, like, you know, another Anthony Hamilton thing, and then they hear the Zach Fox and they're like, oh, what concert did I buy the tickets to? Baby, get the keys. You know, go to the toilet, I will finish my drink, this date is over, you know. Child, no, I opened for fucking Taylor McFerrin. When I tell you that was the vibe... Them grannies ain't want to hear a peep out of me. The first laser, they was like, I'm out. It was, man. That was nuts. I want to talk about Saint-Geniès. Oh, a folk song is playing. That's perfect moment. Saint-Geniès a little bit more. So Saint-Geniès-de-Malgoirès is the village in France that I grew up in. With my siblings, my cousin, and my grandma. He's my step-grandfather technically, but we consider him grandfather because he was the one that, like, actually raised us.
Gotcha.
His name's Patrick. He's a Frenchman from Lille. It's kind of our gathering place. It's like, for us as black people, that's like ancestral ground, you know what I'm saying? Like a grandma's house to that level. When you're in a different country and you're like the only ones of you in the area.
God damn.
Only like especially like since they're an interracial couple, my grandparents. So that was a thing, and we looked like black Arabs because they didn't know what Ethiopian was, but it's like black but Arab, you know. And so there's a lot of stigma, weird looks and stuff. Having a safe haven, just a like bubble within all of that, was very comforting. There was a lot of positive experiences too, but France was the first place where I felt that like sadness that felt pretty. That's what that song's about, like. It's very ghostly. It's just that I don't know. It reminds me of just like smoke and ash and cold. I like that feeling so much. France is that for me. My grandmother, she was a very like reserved person, but still very bubbly and kind. Yeah. And I think that I emulate a lot of that. Yeah, she don't be liking being around too many people. She has some friends sometimes. It's like same, you know. Like I inherited a lot of that. She was one of the few people on this earth that had my, like, I'm a very sweet person. Like, I'm one of the sweetest people ever to ever exist. And that's just, like, you might just not like me if there's a thing, you know? Or I might have been a drunk asshole once. Who cares? You know? But, like, me at my heart, pure as... I don't know. Whatever is pure these days. The earth is weird. Like the most non-Nazi pureness. Yeah, right. So having someone like that close to me, that she didn't tell a lot of stories about her youth. I know that she traded, like was a merchant in Djibouti. It would like trade things between like Addis and Djibouti on occasion. But that's kind of it, you know. Weird. Yeah, like so everything that I know is just like, and this is going into Sun Rza, is perfect. Everything that I know is how she cleaned. She taught me how to cook, and that is the most blessed thing she could have ever given me in this life. I can make such good Ethiopian food. I can't speak the language. My hands know what they're doing. Pause. I got the hands in the kitchen. She gave me more things to do and provide as a service for the family. Yeah. Hair was a huge thing. She used to give me Pop Smoke braids that went into two little buns or two little pigtails. As a kid. Me and Dylan, that was our haircut, like straight down the middle part, because it's like an Ethiopian thing. But I didn't know that as a little person. I just thought like, oh, we got a different kind of cornrows this time. Like not how our grandmother in America would do it. She never really did that style for us. And so just like being able to know her through what she did was able to inform what I do now, which is exactly what Sun Rza is. So like Saint-Geniès is the selling of my childhood home. That house, we don't own it anymore. Like not that we lost it, we just sold it. And like they needed someplace smaller after she got sick, because they couldn't be running up and down stories and stuff. Like they're both elderly. And so losing ancestral ground like that, and that's the one place I felt it in the world. Like because it, like my grandma got a house in Largo in Maryland, and that's like a really special place too, but that's still America. Like I always remember every time I come back to America, I'd look over on the plane and I just feel the energy of all like the lost us, you know, the ones that was in the fields and stuff. And it's just like I'm very sensitive to that sort of thing, so it makes me feel uncomfortable just to know like we can be as positive and beautiful as whatever the fuck we want, but there's still gonna be that thing. There's a really deep wrong that is yet to be rectified. And I immediately, as soon as I touch on, I feel it again, and I'm just like, oh, I'm black in America again. Fuck.
Especially since you've gone to like go out of the country like pretty often and see what it's like not in America too. You can
exactly.
Really, like,
so I can gauge what it's like to be in Africa. I can gauge what it's like to be in the parts of Europe that are comfortable to me. Right. That's that call me if you get lost energy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Looking at the Alps, like fucking going to the Mediterranean just casually. Like the Mediterranean was like an hour from my grandma's house, you know, in Saint-Geniès. So it's just like, yeah, nigga, I be coming back here and just being like, what the fuck? Yo. Like, shook. Nah, when I came back and Soulja Boy came out, that was the most confused I've been in my life. That was crazy. Like, all these kids just doing these dances. I'm like, hold up. Because it was just really so many dances. Like, literally, like, you going for a summer? You get back, and this nigga's doing 50 dances. So we had Lean With It, Rock With It, the motorcycle. We had, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was crank that. Like, niggas was wildin'. Like, Bruh.
Yeah, it's a whole dance routine.
It's a whole, I'm saying, it prepped all this shit. Like, Soulja Boy's responsible for TikTok. I'm gonna say that every day.
For real.
Yeah. Big respect to Big Soldier, Big Soldier. But yeah, so, losing ancestral home. Feeling through it. Being okay with having the memories of it and knowing that the pictures are still real in you and all that feeling, and then taking all of the feelings and putting it immediately into the hairstyling, immediately into the makeup, immediately into the music. I'm doing directorial stuff right now. I'm working on like a choreographed piece. Yeah, I'm doing some Alvin Ailey shit. Like, niggas is working hard. Yeah. All them feelings, do shit with it. Don't just, oh my God. Like, cool. Do that for a second. Bet. Like, I cry. I be crying all the time. But, like, you can't stay there.
Exactly. You gotta put it into something.
Mm-hmm. So, Sun Rza, for one, that's the most New York song I ever made. It was literally like the Yettas in a hat with a song in the middle. Fucking, shit broke off to the side and everything. Yeah. Nah, that one...
It's a really New York beat.
It's a very New York beat. Yeah. The sample is, I chopped it up on accident. I didn't even care about it. It was just like a thing. And after I realized what I wanted to do with the samples, it came out different. Like, it just... that hip-hop beat, I played it for Ryan like once. Ryan's like my final engineer. He does my mastering. I do my mixing. Gotcha. Sent it to him, and he was like, oh, this is like pretty cool. And I was like, okay, I'll fuck around with it. One day, I think I got home from like the hospital doing some sort of blood work for like my whole arthritic things or whatever. Yeah. And I had opened Ableton. My house is hot as fuck. Like, yo, there was a pizza shop under my house that did not have its ventilation working, so the hot air just went up into the building.
Oh no.
And like the air conditioning didn't fucking work. Oh my God. So I had like a fucking fan, and I tried to get the fan sound out of it, and I was just, man, it was just such a painful, that was the worst, just the worst house. The bathroom was small. They make bathrooms small now for adults. Who does that? Why would you make a smaller bathroom? Are we getting smaller? Like, that sort of cheap shit. Why are you getting shit for an elementary school to put in like a whole adult's house? Like, New York is getting crazy as fuck with these fucking small ass houses. Like, I remember like, you know what I'm saying, you got a bedroom for $700 and it's like half of a fucking, brownstone railroad situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this shit right here, crazy. Like, the crib I got right now, it's spacious. Yeah. 1,500. You know what I'm saying? It's still up there, and that's good for here. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So, and it's 2 levels. So it's just like, my bedroom got a hallway in it. That's a flex. That's a flex for the people online. My bedroom got a hallway, bitch. Fuck with me. I'm not gonna let you know where I live. But yeah, a lot of this shit I manifested during that time and during that song. Just like being so, just sick and hot and fat and eating fried shit and just frustrated. And I had to get all that shit out and figure out what I needed for right now. Yeah. Because a lot of the songs are about this current moment. It was all foreshadowing. And so a lot of the songs, I didn't know what the fuck I was even talking about. Like, yeah, like that song, I realized it after, like, I mean, Saint-Geniès maybe like 5 months after. It just kind of fits into place. But, ain't no way to trace your roots. They're going to speak to you through your fruits, like what you do. That's the main crux of the song, Also, the whole way back then. It's not about, like, 4 Our Feet Touch the Shores, like the shores of America. It's about, like, us being in the water as aquatic creatures and actual evolution. I believe in science, I really want to speak strongly to how much I believe in science, because it's a lot of hoteps out there. Like, I do proclaim myself to be fairly hotep at times. Yeah. Just generally, I'm a rootsy person. A lot of us just don't believe in science no more, and it's very narrative narrative-based
Very narrative
belief.
based, 100%.
And it's just like a motherfucker that created something and you just believe that now.
Yeah.
And I am not trying to single out a single faith because like I said, I think all things are right if you're not hurting people. But yo, niggas is getting dumb. This one person said that there was a fucking tunnel from Arizona to Africa.
I saw that, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I remember seeing that, yeah.
Or like Antarctica goes to Hitler's secret cabin, where the aliens live.
Or like Antarctica, yeah, exactly.
Oh Lord,
it's like Antarctica's the passageway to the other
and it's
side
black
of the
people
world.
making this shit up. Yo, that's concerning as fuck. Like, bro, nah. So science, and scientifically, like the ancestry sites. I had my ancestry done, so I at least know like my American stuff. I'm mostly Malian, like a lot of Nigeria, what have you. But like, you can't really trace where you really come from because the margins, they waver percentage wise. And so you kind of have to do what you do and just see how that matches up. I be hitting my runs like a Malian girl. I don't take my runs like an Ethiopian. It wavers between the, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I definitely be moving mad Nigerian sometimes. Like, you can take that how you do, for better or for worse. And so I don't really gotta know the absolutes to everything because you can't really, but you at least have to have a sound basis in science. Cause please, I just wanted to end the album on something a little bit like my granddad was a professor at Howard in medicine. I'm not gonna like undo any of that. Like, some shit you really gotta let go from your ancestors, just like the strife that I don't hold on to his baggage. I used to. I don't. Cool. I think smoking was a thing. Just having that Detroit Red phase. Like, I had to have one somehow. Because my granddad was in the Nation of Islam and then went to just being Muslim. So I feel like I had to have some of that sort of evil villain kind of journey. So I was a little ain't shit for most of my youth. Not most. Adolescence. Adolescence, I was a terrible person. And like the cutest, I was a sexy ass villain. Like, I'm talking about sly, I'm talking about conniving, I'm talking about delusion. Like, I'm talking about a bitch that don't know up from down in the best way. Like, bitch, I was dressing and not knowing my ass from a hole in the ground. It was amazing. I don't remember a damn thing. And that's how you do your youth. That's how you do that shit. So it could be right now and talking to you coherently. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, I'm not fucking doing ketamine at 25. Like, I got some spinal fluid left. Excuse me. Like, I could just risk my brain. Like,
well, alright. I mean, I think we went through all the album. I mean, now that it's out and stuff, you kind of talked about it now, but like, how are you feeling about it? Like, it's gone.
That shit's fire, man. Like, that's like some good ass music. I've been listening to that shit just casually. Like, it makes me feel like a Kanye West album in 2005. It's something old about it. Like, it isn't mixed for like everyone. And some people I've definitely seen react to the mixing in a way where it's just like, it doesn't sound like an Ari Lennox song, which like fire that her shit comes out that clean. I have the 3 things that I done listed: the Scarlett, the laptop, and the mic. I cranked some talent out with minimal resources. Definitely. And bitch, it hit like Rudy Ray Moore. Really, I'm in my Dolomite era. I'm in my MF Doom era. Like, nigga, let's get this money. Like, I'm gonna make what I can with what I'm gonna do the best with what I got. Real energy. Cause I'm not fucking around and waiting for somebody to give me the money to do the shit. Like, who am I? Like, some fancy pop star? No. I'm a nigga that be at home high making beats, and I just so happen to sing good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm comfortable with that. And I do I'm gonna be dancing. I'm gonna be doing a lot of cool shit this year, so it's gonna be awesome. You know, and I'm definitely excited for people to see what it looks like visually, to feel the ways that I feel. That's a special connection. I like it. I like the sounds. Like, I really like that second song. It's something about having all of that there and access. It it's like a sobering thing. It wakes you up. And it should have been the first song because it sobers the ear up for what you're about to hear. But I know some people need to hear something sultry to want to hear the music. So I'm not going to shit on Last 2 Brain Cells because me and Nate really hooked that hoe up. But like, it's somewhat cyber real. Like, Babby
did it was good. but I feel you.
Babby snapped. I want to big up Babby on this one. Like, this man can sing. Like, I remember the first time I even heard him sing, I didn't even know who the fuck he was. Like, I was at Dwell. And he was just singing in the mic in the middle of somebody's set. And it sounded like how I sing, but he's not Ethiopian. And I was just like, what in the hell is this? So I just, like, voice memoed it. And eventually ended up, like, meeting him, like, 3 years later, maybe 4, and I was like, oh, you're that dude that played the thing. I was like, oh, dude, that's my voice. I'm like, dude, yeah, dude, and like now we sing like each other. It's just he's my my Lauryn Hill. He's the Lauryn Hill to my D'Angelo. You know, it works like that. Facts. And that's also, it works the same for releasing music. So Babby, drop that album. I'm gonna shoot you if you don't drop this album this year. So that's that. But I'm happy with Sun Rza. I'm happy with the music. And I'm grateful for the few hands that did touch it, or some fire hands. I'm grateful for everybody that worked on it with me. I'm grateful for me for doing everything and just being a person that can. And that I'm not ashamed to do that. Because I was embarrassed. Like, oh, I can't afford to have a person do this. But like, I be cranking all this shit out by myself. Like one-man army.
Impressive and more like, I think, personal.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. And I appreciate you letting me bark on your little microphone. Like,
no, for sure.
Oh my god, I gave you every accent, every variable, every notes that I had. Honestly, if we did do like a video one, I was gonna dress like a Hollywood starlet. Like Aladdin, I have like a red pillbox hat. It's made out of like wicker. Like it's gonna have a whole moment. I have like some like fancy hat glasses.
Oh, wow.
I look like Ray Charles if he could like see a bad bitch. If you can see a bad bitch in the mirror, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's 2 levels. It's 2 levels. Anyways, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we can wrap it up. What should people expect from you in the future?
Y'all can expect a ballet. Not like a one with a million people. I got a duet coming out. I'm not gonna tell y'all with who, but it is a shocker, and it will be very physically inclined for 2 people that are at points in life where they're not the most active, but still kind of active. And so it's gonna be an eye-opener to see what, you know, that late 20s to early 30s looks like movement-wise. But also just very Lee Roy Campbell-esque paintings. Like, you know them paintings at everybody's house? Like,
which ones?
The black paintings where it's like the people in the funeral procession, or it's the motherfuckers playing jazz, or like that couple dancing.
Like at the dinner table. The one playing jazz, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So that's all I'm doing this year. Sure. Everything from that picture, I'm doing that this year. I'm like, I lie to you not. I'm gonna be a Lee Roy Campbell painting for 2023, and it's gonna be awesome.
That's great.
Y'all gonna get some dance. Y'all gonna get some live performances. Y'all gonna get some features, and inshallah, something even crazier. I'm not gonna even say what it is because I don't know what it is either. But it's something out there for me, and I know it's big, and I'm grateful. Yeah.
All right. Heard it here first. SleepWalker Radio. Signing off.
Peace.